Evening all. This evening what we're going to do is I'm going to show you how to replace the sky. I think the method I'm going to show you is one of the best methods to use. First of all, I'm going to open my bridge. You can see my bridge is opened, and in it I've got master images, master new skies. So I'm just going to pick on an image. I'm going to select this image, double click it, and this will load it into Photoshop, which I'm currently using Photoshop CC. This particular procedure will work quite effectively with Photoshop's 5 and above. What I need to do is go back into my bridge, go to my skies, master sky, pick up a sky, again load that in. So now within Photoshop I've got two photographs loaded, one being the sky, one being the background. What I'm going to go to the background is I'm just going to make a copy of the background, and to do that I will click on my background and drag it to this little icon here, which is situated beside the bin. Let it go, and I find I've got a copy. That copy I'm going to name as cutout. There we go. And then I'm going to move back to the sky and copy the sky across. So to do that, I'm going to go to my selection tool at the top of the screen and select all. The marching ants will indicate what has been selected. In this case, all of the image has been selected. I'm going to go to my edit and press copy. This has now put a copy of this into the clipboard, which will allow me to paste it into this image, providing that I have selected the output channel. And it's very important that you have this output channel selected. Go up to your image and paste. And now we've got a copy of the sky in there. Now if we go back to the sky, the master sky, we no longer need it, so we can effectively close that image off. That now leaves us, I'll just bring that up on screen, it leaves us now with a layer with a sky on it. Let's call it new sky. It's always good to name these things, because after a while, if you don't name the layers, you'll get confused with what the layer is actually doing. So it's always best to have a good procedure and name your layers. With this selected, and I go up to the move tool, there's the little crosshairs here, I can now move this sky into position. And you'll notice that you'll see these purplish colored lines. That tells me that it's lined up perfectly. Okay, and then I go and click the bottom, which will again get the purple lines to appear, and then allow me to move it up till I get it to join the horizon. So I just move it a little down below the horizon. That's all we need. So that's the sky position. Now we can turn the sky off. Let's turn it off. And the most important part of the procedure now is to select the sky for replacement. And we do this using channels. So whenever we click on the channels, we'll get the RGB, the red, the green, the blue show up. And we're going to be choosing one of the three: red, green, or blue. Whenever you're using landscapes, it's always the blue channel. But press your command key. It's the control key on a PC. So if you press the command key or the control key and click on the little picture, blue, you'll find that this has turned on marching ants throughout the photograph. What we want to do is make sure that all the marching ants really just refer to the area of sky we're going to replace. So in order for us to do that, we're going to move back to our cutout. Make sure you're on the cutout, and that we're going to go to our quick selection tool. And when we press the quick selection tool, as you see, we move it into the image, you'll see a circle with a plus on it. This means we're going to add. In this case, we wanted to subtract. So if we press the option key, we'll get a minus, which allows us to subtract the content. So if we just select the minus and using your mouse to maneuver across the image, you will remove all of the areas that are not required. And just going to get them across. Now, this selection will be, by and large, 75 to 90% complete in terms of what you need to do. And you can see in this particular image, the horizon line that is followed has actually dipped down into the bushes, because this part of the mountain area here is very low contrast. Okay, and that's the reason why it's chosen this area. What we want to do is we want to push the selection area up, so that we have got the correct area selected. And to do that, we press the Option key. Again, you'll see, and we're in the Quick Selection tool. What you'll do is you'll press the Option key, which you'll get a minus, and then you just nudge it so that it goes up and connects with the correct area. And there we are. It only took 3 clicks by holding the Option key down and gently pushing up for the marching ants to lock on to this particular area. At this particular stage now, our selection is complete, and we want to marry this off with the new sky. First thing we've got to make sure is that the sky is turned on, and we can see that it's turned on when we make sure the little eye is lit on the selection. The next thing we want to do is make sure the layer is selected. So if we now press the this area where the name is, you'll find that this will be a grey bar, which means it's selected. And the next thing we want to do, if we press this little box with the white circle, this means add the layer mask. And when we click add the layer mask, it effectively replaces the sky. Okay, and the replacement of the sky follows the contours of the picture. So if I now zoom into the picture, and you will see that it follows the contours of the picture the whole way across the sky in the background, and there's no nasty areas of artifacts that normally hang around areas that have been selected and not been selected all that well. You see it's selected the bushes quite well. It's selected the houses quite well. It's done everything quite well. The top of the church, we can see the cross at the top of the steeple, which would have been virtually impossible to do by hand using the selection tool. So that is replacing the sky. I hope you've enjoyed this tutorial, and what I will do is I'll just put this in to fit it, and you can see there's your before, there's the before, and there's the after. Before and after. Okay, so it's all worked quite well.